Hey, if you weren't under a rock the last, I don't know, week or so on the interwebs, I am sure if you are a gamer and you're paying any type of attention, you have heard of what is being touted as the illegal migration simulator. And we're gonna jump on here with good old Asmongold and see what he has to say about some of this shit and do our normal reacty type crap. If I can push the button.
They're currently showcasing a game about illegally crossing into the USA and processing the trauma from being a minority with real audio clips from real illegals. I have to see this. I have to see it. I want to watch it. This is content. Wait a minute. Okay, we might have something here. Let's get it.
It's not only content, it's good content.
My pronouns are she, her, and...
Oh, God, starting with the pronouns. Oh, this is gonna be good. I haven't actually... I just saw this come out, and I saw that people were talking about it, but I've been avoiding it. I kind of had a general idea of what it was, but I've been avoiding it just for that. Okay.
Shit! I just got triggered!
I didn't get triggered. My funny bone was tickled.
Great. So I got a little intro. Thank you. My name's Carla Reyes. My pronouns are she, her, and yeah, I run a little indie studio called Anima Interactive. We're developing Take Us North, which is about migration across the U.S.-Mexico border, which is obviously a very relevant and heavy-hitting topic.
Yeah.
But that's why we found it important to talk about now, and I'll share a little bit about our behind-the-scenes.
I would laugh my ass off if this, whatever her name was, right, was found to be illegal and got deported back to Mexico.
Scenes in the development of this project, because it's very deeply rooted in research. Given how sensitive and complex and nuanced the subject matter is, we want to make sure that we are telling these stories.
Are they going to research the way that illegal migrants steal the identities of American citizens and then claim their benefits illegally? I wonder if they're going to talk about that.
Probably not. I'm going to guess probably not.
Authentically.
I'm going to guess. Here's the perspective this game is going to have, right? This game is going to say that the illegal alien, or I'm sorry, I have to be politically correct here. The undocumented migrant worker person, fucking hell, just came to America for a better opportunity. And sure, they broke a law by crossing the border when they shouldn't have. But it was all for the good of their family. And all they do is they all just work and send money home to their family. So hopefully one day they can bring them here and everyone be legal, even though everybody knows that that's a full crock of shit. And the fact that anybody comes in the country and sends money out hurts our country doesn't actually go into the brains of any of these fucking people, right? They're not going to leave in the fact that there are thousands upon thousands of little girls and little boys too that have come across the border illegally with people who are not their parents, so they can be sold into slavery. Unfortunately and very sadly, usually the sexual kind. They're not going to mention that a giant proportion of the people who come across the border illegally, especially if they're Mexican, are basically sold into slavery as well, but worker slavery, where someone holds any documents they might be lucky enough to have gotten because they got here illegally, and keeps them under thumb, takes the majority of their paycheck, and makes them all live, 30 to a home and shit like that, because if they're giving a giant proportion of the check they get to someone else, well, they can't afford to live by themselves. Now, can they? I'm pretty sure that nothing at all in this game will even come close, evenly close to saying any of those things, right?
And that we are, reaching our goal in trying to shift hearts and minds around this. So before I begin, I'm actually curious.
Yeah, this isn't a game, it's propaganda, of course.
Oh, it's pure propaganda.
Obviously it is.
To ask all of you, because I'm mindful there might not be many Americans in the room. Are there any Americans, by the way? No, okay. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, so could I ask, what are your perceptions around the motivations behind migration across the U.S.-Mexico border? What are you hearing in the headlines in the news? I'm just curious. You can shout things out, or go ahead. Trump out, yes. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, if you could actually see my real face, it would be pretty much the same expression there that Asmongold has.
I just hope that China and Korea can save us from this madness. Maybe South America can. Oh my God. There's somebody.
Sorry, but I want our border covered in razor wire and fucking landmines.
You gotta do this. This is bad.
What do you think is the primary motivation for people from Latin America or otherwise crossing the U.S.-Mexico border?
Who cares?
Violence.
Great. Okay, violence. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyone
that's
else?
the problem.
I agree. I used to live in San Francisco.
Yes. Okay. So this is great because I think like in the U.S., one of the narratives that's being pushed is obviously, you've probably heard this. Americans are, they'll often say Latin Americans, or they'll be reductive to Mexicans. They will say like they're just stealing our jobs, right? Like
They are. It's a fact. They're stealing the jobs. They're creating more traffic. They
are stealing jobs, and like Evan said here, yes, they are creating more traffic, but they're also a bigger hindrance to social programs. Social programs that were meant for American citizens. Social programs like SNAP and EBT, which many people took advantage of, and I'm very glad they are fucking bringing that shit back. But health care and things like that as well, they are a burden onto an already burdened system. They have no right to any of these things. They did not earn them. They did not pay into them. But because we have a law that says we can't not treat you if you walk into an emergency room, which is, I'll admit, probably good. I mean, I don't want somebody that walks in with a gunshot wound or a knife stuck in them or a broken leg. Well, I guess they're not going to walk in with a broken leg, but you know what I mean? That they actually go because something's seriously wrong and it is an emergency. People should have access to that, but these people have no right to it.
overload social systems. They steal people's identities to get government benefits. They steal, obviously, a bunch of other different type of entitlement programs like food stamps, etc. They do jobs for cents on the dollar that should be made for Americans, or they should be improved by automation instead of relying on illegals as a working class of people. The reason why people think this is because it's true.
And I'm sorry, the employers who hire illegal aliens to do work and act this way should just not only be fined, they should lose their license. They should never be allowed to do business ever again.
And also, by the way, they just showed up in our fucking country. Why the fuck should we be okay with people showing up in our country? We didn't say they could be here.
Yeah, no shit.
What a ridiculous thing to say. Oh, people want to come here. Too bad. It's like even the base impulse of this is outrageous. Like the amount of entitlement that these people have is disgusting to me. It is. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I think that's another thing too that gets me. I'm glad he brought that up. Is the amount of entitlement that people come here. It doesn't matter if they're coming here just from Mexico or anywhere else. I don't care where they're coming here from. They come to America, and instead of being like, hey, and by America, I do mean the US of A. I don't know if you're going to go, there are people out there that are going to go, well, there's South and North America. You're not talking about South America. You're not talking about Canada, but it's in the American continent. Unless some dimwit that's going to say that. No, you're right. I'm not talking about Canada, because Canada's fucked in its own way. So I'll rephrase, okay? The good old US of A. Why is it that people feel from anywhere in the world feel like they're entitled to what we've built? If you want that shit build it in your own country. Don't come here and steal it from the people here. Like I said before, it's burdened enough. The social programs and all that stuff have enough of a burden on them as we speak, let alone having entitled people from other countries come and take advantage of it.
That's what the natives said too, no? Yeah, and look what happened to them. Not so good, huh?
Well,
yeah, I don't want to end up like that.
That's a good point.
One of the big rhetoric pushes, and part of what we're trying to do is challenge this misinformation, right? So
misinformation.
Let me just quickly show a couple of videos.
Show me the actual misinformation. Show me what the true misinformation really is. Okay.
Style interviews to ask people about their understanding about migration across the U.S.-Mexico border. So let me see if this
public opinion on why people migrate to the
U.S. Oh, hold on. I want to make sure this audio works.
This is a video game?
Friends. Let me see. Hold on.
No, it's not a video game. Remember, you said it already. It's propaganda. Thankfully, though, it's propaganda that I'm pretty sure the majority of gamers are going to call out and call for the bullshit it really is.
Quality of life, right?
I think it's like most things when it comes to immigration. It's always you're either fleeing something or want to get to something.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
And like I know there's a lot of like violence and like drug problems in and around the border, like with the cartels.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine it's just a lot of fleeing that really for.
Okay, here's mine. I have an idea because he did mention the cartels, and I think he's right. I think the cartels are a huge problem, and the South American and Mexican governments don't do shit against the cartels because they're totally afraid to. I have an idea. Hear me out here. We don't just declare a what's the word I'm looking for? We don't just declare a I'm gonna pretend war, you know, like the war on drugs or the war on people peeing in the street or whatever, you know. We're not just gonna do a pretend declare war. I think, like, go through Congress and declare absolute war on the cartel. Because we know where they are. We know what they're doing. Our intelligence system is good enough to at least have a pretty damn good idea, right? And before we even announce it, we don't just come out and say, oh, we've declared war on the cartels. We're going to give them 24 hours to go hide in a hole somewhere. No. We go, oh, yeah, hey, guys, by the way, 30 days ago, we declared war on the cartels. The stuff you've been seeing where we've been bombing and absolutely obliterating cartel facilities all over the world, yeah, that's true. And why do we do it? Well, because we're tired of the cartels fucking up people's lives, and we figure we should do everything we can to give every person, every Mexican, every American, every South American person, every North American person the best chance at life. And it's been determined the best chance at life is to kill all those motherfuckers.
Human trafficking.
Safety for their families.
Poor countries, they are not making good money, and it's hope of the people. I mean, from many countries, people are dreaming of living in the United States because they are sending to families money which they are making here. I mean, what we see here, it's like not big money, like $15, $20 per hour.
American work there. You know, people would take who are more refugees than anything else, the jobs no one wants.
The American dream, pretty much.
Oh, I hate that. The jobs no one wants. Well, excuse me. Who did? Oh, roughy there. Who did the jobs, quote unquote, no one wants before we started bringing in a bunch of illegal aliens? Oh, yeah, Americans. Who's gonna do the jobs that, quote unquote, no one wants when all the illegal aliens are gone? That's right, Americans. Are they the most glamorous jobs in the world? No. Do we need to teach people that not everyone in America is gonna be an entrepreneur or, you know, a millionaire streamer person? Or, you know, a lawyer or a doctor or any of that crap? Yeah, probably. Do we need to teach people, once again, that manual labor is a good thing and that, unfortunately, they might just be the dimwit that has to do it? More than likely.
This is what I'm talking about, bro, right here. I've been trying to warn y'all about this. I've been trying to tell y'all about this.
I've been saying this shit for fucking years.
How disingenuous for them to say migration when the debate is about illegal immigration. Oh, it's because they don't believe that it's illegal. That's the reason why. They think it's okay for them to do it. Like they have some kind of like entitlement to come to America. It's outrageous.
More refugees than anything else, the jobs no one wants.
The American.
Yeah, isn't it weird too? Like, what is it? Poland? Yeah, Poland, I think, if I remember correctly, pretty much went like, fuck off, we're not taking refugees from anywhere. And oddly enough, it's one of the safest countries. I wonder where that is.
Dream, pretty much. So, coming from where my parents, ancestors are immigrants, but this time, I think from back then, it's completely different. Mm-hmm. People come in to better their lives and better their family lives, more opportunity, better living.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was in New York City, or...
Well, how do you know your grandparents didn't come to America for that fucking reason? Are you just automatically assuming that your grandparents were slaves?
I guess people have a sense of, you know, some of the motivations behind migration.
By the way, New York City, so if you have a map of the U.S., New York City's all the way up here, and the border's all the way down here. So if you ever hear a New Yorker talking about how good illegal immigration is, just keep in mind that unless the people get bussed up to New York, a lot of times they don't even have to deal with it because they're on the completely other side of the border. It's delusional. Yeah, they have like, it's insane.
All of our ancestors and everything came from France or something like that. I'm sure in the world, one or two might have in the UK and everywhere else in the world.
Let me just see.
Martha's Vineyard,
I think
yeah,
it's
definitely.
supposed to raise the volume a bit, by the way. I don't know. Sorry.
Yours did? Cool.
It's a team. Could people hear that okay? Or oh yeah, it was fine. Okay, cool. All right. Let me see if I can go back here.
Okay, so do we get to watch the game?
Apologies.
Do we get? I don't care about like this. This is just.
With
I want to see what they actually say in the game.
Take Us North is really to try to humanize migrant stories and capture some of the complexity and nuance.
So you want to figure out how to lie to people without them detecting you're lying to them. Noted.
So yeah, as I said, it's a narrative-driven game.
Straight up.
Real-world stories. So we're conducting extensive interviews with.
Take Us North plays the role of migrant. Players assume the role of a migrant guy who embodies the complex interplay of duty and empathy.
So you assume the role of a coyote. Oh, that is... I didn't realize that. You assume the role of the coyote, and you're the one dragging these people across the fucking desert into America. Oh my god. Oh, I can't. That is fucking hilarious.
I wonder if he sexually traffics the women that he's helping move over the border.
Yeah, or the kids, for that matter.
They probably won't do that, will they? No, because it might make what they're saying look bad.
Well, maybe they will. Maybe it'll be a mini game, right? Where you have to, like, separate the kids and the mom, and you start with the mom, and... Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I was going to go nasty, but we're not going to go there. That's a bit much, even for me. But, like, just separate the mom and take her off behind a cactus and do your thing.
Even though that's exactly what happens.
Yep.
I wonder if you're able to molest the women that you help come across the border with. Probably not. I wonder why. It's because it's not about telling an accurate story. It's about telling a lie.
With migrants and asylum seekers and all.
And my other thing, too. Okay, so you're playing the coyote. Okay. Do you bury the people that die along the trip? Think of the amount of bodies that must be in the sand out there from people who died of dehydration, mainly. Yeah, just some food for thought there, huh?
I'll dig into our approach to that in a bit. But, basically, in the game, you play the role
Kids
of a
also,
migrant
of course.
guide, or often known as, they're often associated with the drug trade. You know, people mentioned before, but it's more complicated.
I like how she's trying to say the words like if I put the umph on them, they sound better. I like how she's trying to do that.
Complicated than that, and
it is more complicated. It's worse.
That's why we want to show this game, because we believe in video games as one of the most immersive art forms and as a tool to foster empathy and awareness of
It's not empathy at all. You want to come to another country and experience its resources and then take advantage of it while not respecting that country's borders. You want to...
Or laws, period.
To go into the country illegally against their consent. You know that you're not supposed to be here. You're going here anyway.
Yep.
You want to talk about empathy? I think that should start at the beginning whenever you come somewhere where you know you're not supposed to be.
Especially when we have a way for you to come in the door. We have a border crossing. We have some places where you can plead for asylum and things like that if the things are going wrong in your country. So there are ways for you to come here legally. It's just that the majority of people who want to come here aren't eligible for those things and don't want to go through the process. So they come here legally.
Why y'all put up with these retards? Honestly, I think that the time of putting up with these people is almost over. It is coming to a...
I gotta move for a second. I don't think it's almost over. I think that for the most part, the time of putting up with this kind of shit is more or less over and done. I think what we're seeing now are the fragments, right? What we're seeing now is the last little bits of it that have been put in motion already for years. And we're just it's just now becoming a thing to where everybody knows. I don't think that we're really putting up with it anymore. I think we're just seeing the last little bits.
Close. And I am so fucking glad. It's almost done.
Or I think it's the death rattle. That's it. Right now we are hearing the death rattle. And I won't describe what that is. I'm pretty sure that most people will know what I mean there.
Topics. We watch those videos. Yes.
Narrative vision. Real world stories and hardship. We're collaborating with Undocumented Filmmakers Collective. Oh my God.
So the project is really rooted in research, as I said. So We are collaborating closely with anthropologists. There's a lab at the University of California, Los Angeles, that's run by a professor called Jason.
So they're working with a university in California for this. I would have never expected such a dramatic change of events. Wow. Can you believe that? Who would have thought? Yeah. In what world a U.S. person comes to Germany to virtue signal about their problems? Imagine traveling to the EU to promote such a game. Well, I don't know where she's from. I have no idea. How do you use your brain dealing with this shit every day and not want to blow your brains out? Because I know that, like, whenever I talk about this stuff and I cover it, I think that I'm doing a public service. I think I'm helping people realize how blatantly manipulative, toxic, problematic, and bad it is. I think that there is an overabundance of emotionally charged messaging that is designed intentionally to make you give up your country, to give up your culture, to give up your morality, and to instead effectively adopt someone else's. It's not about you being not judgmental. It's about letting somebody else judge you. And
yeah, I would have to agree. I think that's pretty close to the same reason that I would do this shit too. So hey.
Letting them decide what's okay, letting them tell you what's acceptable, letting them dictate their idea of empathy. Their idea of empathy is we're going to invade your country illegally, and if you get mad about it, we're going to call you mean. The character name?
No, we're not just going to call you mean. We're going to call you racist and evil and a Nazi character. Oh, Karen recalls what she's seen the past few months. Scabies, parasites, scorpion bites, broken bones. Really? Is a character named Karen? Excuse me. There's a character named Karen? Oh my god, that'd be fucking hilarious. Please be true.
What she's been seeing. I don't see character name. Top right?
It's right there, dude.
I don't get it.
It's right there in front of you, dude.
Scorpion bite.
Read the whole fucking thing. Right there. Oh, I love that. Oh, look at his face. That can't be your name. Come on. I want it to be.
Oh, man. What are the odds?
Pretty good, apparently.
You can't make... Yeah, bro, this is poetic.
Who has done extensive research both in Latin and along the border. He published a book last year called Soldiers and Kings, which is all about smuggling across the U.S.-Mexico border. And we've been working with his team. And there's also a collective of...
Anybody who's doing any smuggling across the border illegally isn't a soldier, and they're certainly not a king. They're criminals that often sexually abuse the people that they're doing things with, and also manipulate them, sometimes kill them, and traffic over drugs that kill people.
Yep.
Undocumented.
They're parasites. The people that do that are awful.
Filmmakers in the U.S. So these are people who are artists and storytellers in their own right, but they actually also have experience of having crossed the border. So here you can kind of just see, like, side by side, a lot of the...
Oh my god. This is amazing. Wow. This is no game? No, it's not.
Like I said before, he said and I've said, it's not a game, it's pure propaganda.
Holy shit. This is ridiculous. I know. Can you believe this?
The context that we're trying to portray in the game. So, of course, the U.S.-Mexico border, and it's primarily set in the Sonoran Desert, which is one of the deadliest migrant trails. And there are deterrence policies that Border Patrol has where they'll essentially, like, weaponize nature, and they're trying to keep...
Thank God.
Which is what they should be doing.
Thank God. Be lucky it's not worse.
Yeah, be lucky we don't just say, you know what, fuck this shit, and not only razor wire the entire fucking border, like 30 feet out into Mexico fucking shit, and you'd be fucking lucky we don't just start putting landmines out there. Or I know, a sniper tower every half mile. Be lucky that's not what's fucking happening. And at some point, I'm sorry, that might be what it takes. I don't want that. And because I don't feel against, right, the people who really want to come here for a better life, because those people are alive and they do exist. I just want them to come through the front door.
That's some alligator Alcatraz shit. That's the way it should be.
Migrants.
Yeah, remember when everybody was bitching about quote-unquote alligator Alcatraz, and we found out that they were actually being treated better than most American prisoners?
In the desert for as long as possible, suffering from, extreme heat, extreme cold.
The migrants just spawned there. They chose to go there. You decided to do this.
Yeah,
walking days across the desert, and unfortunately, thousands of migrants have died or gone missing on these trails.
Then they shouldn't have gone on the trail. They shouldn't have done it. Yeah, they shouldn't have done it.
Well, how they should died or gone missing. Well, If they're missing, they're probably
maybe if you
just saying.
If you don't want to have this bad happen to you, maybe just don't do it. Do not come.
I've gone myself and walked along the trails and done on the ground work with humanitarian groups, and we'll talk about that. But
yeah, and I bet the trails you walked along were on the U.S. side of the border, where she was more or less fairly safe, huh?
There are also other aspects of the trail which I'll dig into.
Oh my God!
And yeah, just some examples of the team going to visit the lab at UCLA.
Survival and hope in the world of human smuggling. What a bunch of fucking bullshit. This is the problem that I think these people have, is that they're...
But she's even putting a thing on here that says human smuggling itself. I don't...
Like, this is... You really think human trafficking is about survival and hope? Oh my God.
Where we could see artifacts that were left in the desert by migrants.
Can we see the video game
on
yet?
A recent trip that I
video
did
games?
on the border.
What do you mean
I
about video games?
Yeah, well, I almost forgot this is supposed to be about a fucking video game.
Artifacts that migrants had left behind. So they're still doing this to this day.
Artifacts?
Is there
well, she's finding like a
here?
A Native American Indian, like fucking arrow team. Well, like a Coke can?
Making this journey, even despite everything that's happening in the U.S., because there's a lot of misinformation on both sides, actually, right? Like,
can of Pringles?
Latin Americans and immigrants from around the world are being sold this concept of the American dream and that you can cross the border in this way. And it's very complex. And one of the things, too, that I think is not captured very well is that migrants from all over the world are actually traveling to Latin America in an attempt to make the journey to the U.S. So
here's how you fix that, right? You tell Latin America, hey, if you let these people come to our border because they're already invading your country, but the only reason you don't stop them is because they're not wanting to stay, and you think it's okay for them to come to our border. Hey, I tell you what, there's going to be some fucking consequences. And hasn't Trump done that? And that's not why that's slowed down. That's worried how that works out, huh?
That's what Donald Trump has been saying. Yeah, that's the problem. Exactly. That's the issue.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a self-report, don't you think?
You see people from Southeast Asia, from Africa. It's not just Mexicans and it's not just Latin Americans, right? And I think this is something that also not that many people have.
Everybody knows that.
And in the game, we try to do this environmental storytelling that's based on...
So let me get this straight. Your idea of environmental storytelling is putting 2 bottles of water next to some rocks. This is environmental storytelling.
A lot of the research. So one example is migrants will actually carry these black water bottles because they believe that they're less conspicuous to U.S. Border Patrol. And there's this like saying where they'll say it's better to be hot than caught, in that like drinking, like having these black water bottles actually makes the water almost undrinkable because it's unbearably hot, right? It insulates the heat. But, this is a very clandestine world, and something that we are trying to do through the game is shine a light on people and humans that are often cast in the shadows, right? They're fleeing persecution and violence, and they're living a life.
But they're not always fleeing persecution and violence. I hate this whole excuse of every time somebody comes over the border illegally, they're just fleeing persecution and violence. That is a fucking bald-faced lie. They are not always just escaping those negative things. I'm sorry, a lot of times, and they're coming here because we have a better class of life. Because even our poorest people, our poor people in America and the United States of A, live better than some of the kings of old, just by the nature of having flushing toilets. So, no, they're not always coming here for leave to run away from persecution and violence. A lot of the time, they're just coming here because they want what we have, which is a better life. And that's okay. That's a good thing. Just come through the door. Don't hop the fence.
In hiding from the moment
That's crazy. Wow. That sucks. Too bad. Not our problem.
Flee their homes, because it's often the
Why don't you stay there and make it better?
That are going after them. And
because that requires work.
I'll kind of talk about that, but and then they have to face Mexican Border Patrol and Border Patrol within Central America as well, where the U.S. has been training Border Patrol agencies in other countries as well. So it's a very complex, system. And no,
it's not complex at all. If you're doing what you fully well know is breaking a law, then don't do it. There. If you know that you're going over the fence or on the fence or whatever to a country where you don't belong, then don't do it. If you have a valid reason to claim persecution and violence from the country you're in, and you come to the border and ask for asylum, well, then there's step one of maybe becoming an American citizen, maybe.
En route, and it's not just happening at the border itself, but it starts all the way in South America. You can see an example of like a rescue beacon here. So this is real. The image at the top is, you know,
it's
in
the
the desert.
self-report red button.
And you can see they have this illustration of like an emaciated, desperate migrant, which is just very sad and kind of repulsive to me, truthfully.
And
I can't believe they'd try to come in our country illegally. This is the way that they try to weaponize your empathy against you so they can take advantage of you. Is that they say, well, you know, we have to cross the desert. Well, no, you don't have to, because you shouldn't even be here in the first place. No, you shouldn't be coming here. You shouldn't be going in this direction. You shouldn't be trying to come into a country illegally. This is ridiculous. Not emaciated enough. I mean, she said like tons of people died doing it. I mean, I bet they did. Yeah.
But you know, it's Border Patrol kind of saying like, we'll rescue you if you need help. So they know that, you know, the migrants are in dire straits in these situations.
And you can see how also in this entire story, not once has there been any conversation about how the people that are the human traffickers are problematic at all. There's no conversation about that.
Well, of course not. There's no conversation about that, because that would be honest. That would be an honest and open conversation. And of course, because of the ideology, we cannot have an open and honest conversation.
It's because this is not an academic pursuit. This is not something that's being done in order for people to understand.
No, it's not academic. It's nothing more than pure propaganda.
Things. It's being done in order to push a specific worldview that is intentionally like subversive to America. And this is also true with Europe. It happens with Europe too. Yeah. It's propaganda.
So we've been collaborating.
So when are you actually going to talk about your game?
Closely with a shelter, and well, a couple of shelters now in Mexico, specifically in Nogales, which is on the border between Arizona and Mexico, which Northern Desert is. And I've been going down there and also like on a bi-weekly basis, conducting phone and video interviews with asylum seekers and people who...
Illegals. Not asylum seekers. I fucking hate that. If they are on this side of the border, or they're on the other side and hoping to cross, that makes them an illegal. Illegal.
Have, you know, had to flee their homes because they've either been threatened by cartels in some way. They have not wanted to get recruited, especially in the case of young men, where young men are, you know, it's either they join the carteles or they risk dying. Right?
I love how for a couple times she's like cartel. You know, says it normal like, right? And then you can see that little button click in her brain where she says, "Oh shit, I didn't say it the asinine way. So I have to call it carteles. Oops, hopefully I don't forget about that again."
Right, and so their only option is to flee. And that these are some of the stories that we're trying to weave into the narrative of the game.
Who the fuck cares? Like, who the fuck cares? Like, who cares? Like, what does this have to do with anything in the U.S.? Like, how is this our problem? It's insane, bro. Like, yeah, we gotta play this. We probably should.
Oh, you can damn near guarantee if I can play this on stream, I am going to.
From a game design standpoint, we really want this experience to be, again, like, sensitive. We're not trying to glorify or glamorize this experience, but we want people to feel it, and we want to treat it with respect. So we're trying to balance these moments of tension.
I just realized, look at this. So you have to walk around the spotlight, and you can see the two people that are avoiding Border Patrol. Like you see what's going on here? Oh my God.
Right, and having to evade border patrol.
He plays border patrol.
With some
I got a feeling you're not going to be able to.
Not make it trauma porn either, right? I think this is something that because they're human stories at the end of the day. Humans have a spectrum of emotion, and so there is, humor and deep emotion, love, etc., more positive emotions. And we also want people to reflect on the universality of migration. So even though this is like on the nose in the sense that we are portraying migration across the U.S.-Mexico border, and it's a real world topic. Yeah. This is something that's obviously very relevant here in Germany, in Europe, and around the globe. And
yeah, it's a big problem over there too. It's crazy how this what the fuck is going on with these Western countries, man? This is bad.
We want people to be all the Western countries at one time are getting inundated by people who don't belong there, isn't it? It is almost like some big, large global cabal or hidden government that shouldn't be taking over places. If you put your tinfoil hat on anyway.
Be thinking about.
Am I saying that's what it is? No, not really.
Real bad.
I've also been meeting with some artists that work along the border. There's an artist called Alvaro Anciso. So he was a migrant from Colombia himself, and now he goes every week into the desert and creates these shrines to pay tribute to migrants that have lost their lives, where they'll find remains, either bones or full cadavers, and they'll work with forensic groups to identify them. So that's something that we try to capture in the game as well.
Here's the game.
The Beast. The Beast is a freight train that runs through Mexico where thousands of migrants.
This game looks like shit. You know what? This looks like Dustborn. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Oh, we have to look. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Hate that. No, not Disney Plus. Dumpster Fire. Dustborn video game. There we go. Boom. Images. Yeah, it looks like. Turn that fuck on. There we go. There we are. Okay. Yeah, it looks like Dustborn. It's the same kind of art style, right? That like kids Sunday school wannabe shit. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Yeah. Looks like Dustborn. Okay. See what I mean? Oh wow. Okay. Let's refresh that.
To pay tribute to migrants that have lost their lives, where they'll find remains, either bones or something that we try to capture in the game as well.
Here's the game.
The Beast. The Beast is a freight train that runs through Mexico where thousands of migrants ride on top of this speeding train. Well, it's not quite speeding, but even so, it's an incredibly perilous train. And, it's very common for migrants to lose their limbs trying to get on and off of this train or being on board it. Okay. But this is one way to...
This is what I find is so weird, is that these people view every negative consequence from their own actions to be somebody else's fault.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, but if you're gonna be a dumbass and try and grab onto a fucking moving train to jump onto it and your arm gets ripped off, fuck you, I don't care.
It's like all of these bad things are happening to you, but somehow it's somebody else's fault that it's happening.
Travel across Mexico, and it's something that we're capturing in the game as well. Mm-hmm. The Darien Gap is another very deadly migrant trail, which...
Do they have to cross waters full of alligators? Please say yes.
Is between Colombia and Panama.
You can see the border patrol agents that are T-posed around the water, I guess ready to arrest somebody after they get out of the water. Oh my God.
And migrants will, have to trek through rivers and jungle. Yeah. And this is a very early prototype, by the way, but just kind of so that you get a sense of the visuals. These are other parts of the migrant trail that we are tackling to show again, like the breadth of this.
Where are the gators?
Story. It doesn't just start in Mexico. So as I mentioned, I've been working with some humanitarian
humane borders. Oh God. Okay, I'll go ahead towards the end. Why this matters more than now.
We've been collaborating with, and, she's saying that she was talking about January 20th, the pain that the migrants felt because everybody received a notification that their asylum appointments, so they were...
This is right. So Biden had an app for all of the illegal aliens who should have never fucking been here, and asylum seekers who also should have never fucking been here. Trump, on the first day of the app, reprogrammed the app canceled everybody's appointments,
Yeah.
and then changed the app into a self-deportation app.
Yeah, get out app.
They had just, many of them had spent months, even years
Yep.
in hiding and in constant movement and migration, hoping for a chance to find refuge in the States. And now there is no asylum.
Finding refuge.
No, there
I wonder
shouldn't
if
be.
somebody tried to find refuge in your house.
There shouldn't be any asylum because you're not speaking about asylum. People who need asylum come through the door and do it correctly. People who just want to, well, for lack of better words, mooch off the government titties don't.
Would you be okay with that? Probably not, right? And so it's always, these people always like writing checks that somebody else has to pay for.
And so this didn't just impact, immigrants in Mexico, but obviously on a global scale, there's been so much happening, and therefore, we need support, and we want to be able to support all of the different groups, both grassroots nonprofits, large-scale NGOs that are doing the work to try to ameliorate these conditions and try to
these NGOs are going extinct, by the way, because the way that they were getting funded has been getting cut off.
Yeah, they're getting less and less government money, thankfully.
That's why so many of them have been shut down.
really make a change if we can do anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
there's no
running out of
US
time. There's the trailer.
Okay, let's see the trailer.
We won't
Just play the fucking trailer.
do the trailer.
Wait, so you spent the entire time talking about how bad this was and just playing your propaganda, but you're not going to play the trailer for your video game at a video game convention? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god.
What the
Okay,
hell?
sorry.
Outside, goddamn.
Hilarious. Okay, I'm done. That was it.
Wow.
These are QR codes.
So they're not gonna give us the fucking trailer. Can I find a trailer? Let's try this. Right, YouTube. What was the name of the game? Right, Take Us North. Okay, can we find a trailer? Take Us North trailer. Is this the actual? Oh, this is from 8 months ago. Anime Interactive. Okay, boom.
Listen, if you want a shot at making it, you have to think about this like it's an adventure. Crossing the Sonoran Desert, she's unforgiving. She may trick you with her beauty, but amongst these sands, she's the biggest beast of them all. You will find La Migra swirling above you, cutting through the sky with her blades. Avoid detection at all costs. We've all given up so much already, but the sacrifices will not stop you.
Oh, this looks like I'm gonna give it a pause in case they decide, oh, you're talking bad about us, we're gonna copyright you or whatever. This looks like dog shit. Let alone the material of the game, it just looks like dog shit.
Fascinating, isn't it?
No.
How far our hearts will go for a chance.
This looks like absolute shit. Do they have, let's see here, let's read some of the comments, huh? Woo, Dustborn 2 just dropped. Who's kickstarting Deportation Simulator 2025? Ooh, too bad I'm not gonna make a video. If I can't make video games, I would. Comment section will be more numbers than people playing this is gold. Oh no, I'm gonna play it probably if I can, because, it's gonna be fucking funny.
Man.
We have to set up everything for the closing panel.
So you didn't even show the trailer.
Yapped bitch yapped so long about her fucking propaganda that she didn't even have time to show the trailer. You know why? I think they did it on purpose. I think she didn't show the trailer on purpose just because of the little bit of trailer we just watched.
I don't even know what to say about something like this. It's so fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. Well, there it is. That actually made me kind of mad. I hate people like this. I hate the manipulation of it. I hate the way that they portray themselves as victims, as they're doing something wrong that they know is wrong. I think that they are just awful.
Oh, looks like we had a raid on the YouTube site from Culture Casino and his viewers. Hey, thank you, Culture. Much appreciated. Hello, everybody. How we doing?
And as I've said before, if it was up to me, we would be deporting every single one of them. And this is the migrants, asylum seekers. They would all be gone with no maybe we could keep the 9s and the 10s, okay?
Yeah, we got to keep the hotties, because we don't want our country to look inbred, I guess.
But besides that, They're gone. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Yeah, this is the propaganda. Yeah, do not buy into this emotional blackmail. Do not buy into the manipulation.
Music Man
Don't
too.
be taken advantage of. All they want to do is come into your country and lie to you, emotionally manipulate you, and then take advantage of resources that they had nothing to do with building. So yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, let's do. What was it? Oh yes, I know. I need to quote unquote.
So this is something that's happened. It happened a little while ago.
Go away. Quote unquote end this video part because I'm going to cut this shit out and upload it later. So as usual, do the thing.
Let's up those numbers.
And up those numbers for me on the YouTubes and on the Twitches and the Twatters and all the other stuffs. And I will see you later on.